Hello.
Yokoso.
What?
Doesn't that mean welcome?
I don't know. I don't think I've had that
Konnichiwa.
word.
That's because you've been learning Spanish instead of Japanese.
No, I'm farther than you in Japanese. We're big Duolingo people for the last 300 days at least. That's my streak right now, like 302.
Mine's 200.
Seems that I may be better than you.
At least more consistent.
So as you can see, we're coloring again. I started a new one in hopes that I won't make it ugly.
I'm still on the same one.
So I have a topic that I have not vetted with Michael yet.
Perfect.
And it's pretty, topical to our life right now. And what's funny?
I rotated the can like it was a sponsored thing. You know how in the movies it's
Stop saying
you know how in the
that.
movies it's always like the precarious can that's like rotated perfectly to the camera.
Yes.
Anyways, as you were saying.
As an intro to a very serious topic that's
Oh.
it's very topical to our lives right now and very topical to this time of year, I feel like. I thought we could talk a little bit about our mental health journeys.
Okay.
I feel like that's topical, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to share a little bit about like our mental health history, each of us, and then kind of where we're at today, and maybe talk about like some struggles that we have and kind of normalize things, because Michael and I, even before I got into the mental health profession, were always the friends that were like very welcoming to mental health talk, and we stand by that.
The unofficial therapist.
Yeah.
Now you're the official therapist.
Not yet. Very close though. So, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
Well, Amanda has pointed out a couple of times on YouTube, but I have ADHD, and it was a late diagnosis 2-3 years ago or so. I was studying for the professional engineering exam at the same time that Amanda was studying for the GRE. And she would study for a few hours every single day, as one does, to, knock out a good test. And after like a month or so, I asked her, I was like, are you like legit studying like the whole time? Like when we say we're going to study, like, are you actually hitting the books like that? And she was like, yeah, what the heck? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know, staring at the wall or like twiddling my thumbs or something.
I do want to say that before any of this happened, Michael was diagnosed with anxiety and has been on an SSRI for years prior to this. But yeah go ahead.
Yeah. And I think a lot of...
I just put lotion on my face and I can't get this off. Oh, I thought we were working together.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Where was I?
You were trying to study for a test. I was able to study easier than you, so...
Yeah, and then I don't really remember exactly... Well, actually, rewind like a year before, I was talking to our therapist just about random stuff, and our therapist was like, have you ever gotten screened for ADHD? And I completely shot it down. Like, I was like, I don't have ADHD. I'm not like a kid with a
I think even
thumping
before
leg or
that,
something.
I think I mentioned it even before that.
Yeah. But then at some point I came across like a video or an article or something that was talking about like fact versus fiction of ADHD, like what it looks like for real, not like, the textbook or whatever it's like in the movies and stuff. And I was like, why is this article like literally explaining like the trials and tribulations of my entire life? Then I ended up seeing a psychiatrist after like, I feel like it was like a really long time. It was like a month or something before they could see me. And
Lily, stop opening the trash can.
it's like the third time she's
Don't you know we are having a serious conversation here?
Yeah. So had like whatever that's called, the initial consultation of
Like the diagnosis.
the diagnosis, and she was like, yeah, man, you got it good.
Severe ADHD. And I'm like,
But I'm like, I never remember what people call it, but there's hyperactive, where you have a lot of fidgeting, which I do when I talk. I fidget a lot, I guess, but other than that, I'm not super like hyperactive, but I'm very...
I don't know. You're always running all over doing I don't even know what.
I
like,
don't know. Maybe
like,
I don't even know.
I'll be sitting there and like talking to him, and then without saying anything, he'll just leave the room, and I'll have to call him on the phone and be like, "Hello, where'd you go?"
Where you at?
And he'll be like, "Oh, I went to go do something on my computer," and it'll be like 45 minutes later. So I don't know, but he also like you run around. But anyway, okay, so got diagnosed with ADHD and kind of misdiagnosed with anxiety.
Yeah, so one of the things that was really weird for me was in college, I started having panic attacks, which I had never had before. That was like crazy. I thought I was dying. I was convinced I was having a heart attack or something like that. And then I kind of had intermittent anxiety, like pretty much since then, until I started getting the ADHD treated, and it was like...
And they weaned him off.
Crazy.
They weaned him off of his SSRI.
So not, I don't know, misdiagnosed, like I was having panic attacks, but it was...
It's like where you diagnose the symptoms and not the actual root of
so
the
like
problem.
It was in my master's degree, and I was working on a thesis, and I was really struggling to make progress on it, and I feel like that was a byproduct of ADHD, and then that turned into anxiety because I wasn't getting anywhere, and then my master's took a year longer than it was supposed to, and I just had a full-on meltdown and quit. Like, not quit, by the time I got my master's, I was going to be working towards a PhD, but I had more than enough credits to just walk away with a master's. So at some point I was just like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, so fun fact, Michael was going to get a PhD and was super, super close.
A couple years.
Really? I thought it was closer than that.
I finished all the coursework, but then for a PhD you still have to do a dissertation, which takes a couple of years.
Okay, I thought it was closer than that. But fun fact, he was trying to get...
Yeah, so I was a master. I had a few extra classes, like a whole year's worth of extra classes.
Yeah. But all in all, like, do you
so,
regret that?
What? The
Stopping.
extra classes?
No, stopping.
No, I don't think that academia would have been right for me. It would have been not necessarily the field that I would have wanted to, like, deep dive into. Like,
especially not with engineering.
Yeah.
So now, I guess, talk about how it is topically for you today.
So, I mean, the last 2 years, I think, there's been the whole ADHD medication shortage, which has just been the most annoying thing. Because for me, when I got diagnosed and I started taking my medication and stuff, it was like life-changing. Like overnight was like, oh, people can just fold laundry. Like, that's a thing. But then all of a sudden 2 years ago, everything, like just every medication is in 1 month, not the next, and it's horrible. And a lot of pharmacies are just horrible to deal with because, unfortunately, people like to use ADHD medicine as like a party drug.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know who does that. I don't think that's...
I mean, I don't know about party drug, but in college, like, I've had, when I was at USF and studying library, I had people offer me Adderall. Like,
yeah,
no.
And that's a big part of the issue. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't know why there's a huge Adderall shortage.
Well, that is what I meant.
It's not
though.
even,
like,
it's not
how is it-
Adderall though. It's like, it's all of them.
So, like, topically of why I was saying that this matters right now.
Oh, because I'm having a super hard time
He can't
refilling.
get, yeah, so he's not medicated right now. So, life is a little bit harder for Michael right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there was a time during COVID where just everybody was able to get diagnosed pretty easily on like an online telehealth thing.
And I will say, like, being a mental health therapist and seeing people, I see a lot of adults that are undiagnosed with ADHD and struggling with all kinds of stuff, whether it's like impulsiveness or communication with their significant other or...
Yeah, I mean, ADHD is a very wide
yeah.
thing. Like, it's everything from time management to tapping. Like, but yeah, so I guess, I mean, that's where we're at. I mean, that's where I'm at right now, is constantly always being annoyed by the shortages.
And do you have any like resources or books or things that you have done that help with your ADHD? Because I'm sure somebody out there watching this has ADHD.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've read a ton of books. The one that's specifically about ADHD that I thought was pretty helpful is called Mastering Your Adult ADHD. It's by like 4 different authors, and they're all like psychiatrists, I think. And it literally goes step by step, like, this is how you should set up your calendar and like everything, because it's typically those kinds of things with like executive function that people with ADHD struggle with.
So what was it called?
Mastering Your Adult ADHD.
Mm-hmm. Also, that book that's on your nightstand is very...
How to Keep House While You're Drowning.
Yes.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
That's more specifically about, you know, breaking down, cleaning a kitchen kind of stuff. And then the book Getting Things Done by David Allen is really good. That one's not an ADHD book. That one is like a how to get in control of your life. I think everybody could benefit from that book.
Yeah, sorry, I'm laughing. Lily is
She's still opening the trash can
over and over.
again.
But she's not like getting in it. She's just like sniffing it and walking away. But yeah, those are good. And then what are some... Tell them about like the bracelets.
I haven't been doing that one as much, but it
is helpful
good.
when he does do it.
Yeah. So let me go get them. They're very annoying, but that's what they're supposed to be.
There's a lot of, like, if you like go on TikTok or whatever, you can find a lot of people that are sharing their ADHD things. And I actually saw this strategy on somebody's TikTok at some point, I don't know, forever ago now. And I was like, you know, we should try this. And it's very good. And I tell all of my ADHD clients to give it a shot because it's good.
Could you explain what they are?
No.
So Amanda bought me a huge pack of these bracelets, which are like for putting keys on, I think.
You know, like when you're a guest at a pool or something?
Yeah, and they give you one of
those.
these and it has a key on it and it's for opening something. But they all, so I have a bunch of them and they all say like random little tasks that are kind of like recurring in my life. Like this one says run. This one is a reminder to meditate and whatever. And in the morning, you put however many of them on your wrist and you don't take them off until you do the thing.
And they're annoying.
And they're annoying. So at some point I'll just be like, all right, time to meditate. And then I'll meditate for 5-10 minutes or whatever. And then you take it off. And then eventually they're all gone.
Yeah. So it's a strategy for you guys to try out if you have ADHD or if you don't, you know, it's not a bad strategy for everybody.
I mean, and I have another kind that it's like almost like a hospital band, but it's not a hospital band. but they're like one-time use. And if I have something super important that I need to remember, I'll write it on that. Like
paying bills, that's a big thing
like,
people with ADHD struggle with.
Yeah, like or if I have an appointment or something.
Say a real sentence. That is a thing that people with ADHD struggle with, is like paying bills on time and stuff.
Yep. And if I don't know why, but for me, wearing shoes makes me not screw around as much. Like,
yeah, I always hear him, like, he wakes up way earlier than I do, and then he comes in the bedroom to say good morning to me when I wake up, and I hear clomp, 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 clomp of his tennis shoes.
Okay, but that's another thing though. Like,
that's not ADHD. No. That's just a
no. That's my. So on the days that I'm going running, I put my running shoes on like as soon as I wake up, because then I'm like, at some point I'm gonna run. I'm wearing my running shoes. I'm gonna do it. So I'll put them on at like 7 a.m. and then I'll go run at 8.
It reminds me of like a woman when she's getting ready and she has her high heels on and you hear them in the house.
Atomic Habits is a good book too. James Clear.
That's a good one for everybody too, not just people with ADHD.
That one's all about like science-based ways to start good habits and break bad habits. All good info in there. So is it your turn now?
Yes, it is.
Spill.
I figured this was a good topic for a video because in the last couple days I've been a little overstimulated, and every time Michael has tried to talk to me about this kind of stuff, I've been like, I really just need a minute like to get my own brain settled, because it's kind of difficult when you're a therapist and everybody, wow, what was that face?
Oh, my face was itchy. Is that what I did?
Your eyes were wide open. When you're a therapist and you're listening to people's problems all day long, and then I've just had a lot going on, nothing bad, but just a lot going on.
Husband.
You're not annoying. That's not what I'm saying. It's just sometimes you have to be selfish, and that's the case in any relationship, and that's why we always say like it's good to have a therapist, because you don't want to put too much, and Michael doesn't, but you don't want to put too much on your significant other. You want to make sure that you're not making their mental load too much by dumping off your mental load onto them.
Are you saying that I traumatized them?
No. I'm saying some people do. So I thought it would be a good video for us to get to talk about it kind of with each other and to remember where we were and how we got here. And, you know, just full circle. You're cut out of this video.
Oh.
Do you need to move the camera over? Or you're gonna
No, I was just leaning so I
make
could
sure
focus
that you're
color.
on the thing. Also, mental health right now during the holidays is a time where a lot of people have some mental health issues, anxiety with family being around or not being around and all kinds of stuff. So I feel like it's a good video to normalize it, because I'm sure that there's a lot of us out there going through it. At least we all go through it sometimes.
Sounds
the dogs
like
are playing in the
some
background.
playing going on back there.
So cute. You can see just like their little heads and Lily's like squirrel tail. So for my mental health journey, it kind of started really young, but I didn't know, which I mean makes sense that it's, guys, they're going nuts. Guys, I'm trying to talk. So anyway, I got a little distracted with the dogs, but it makes sense that I was having mental health issues when I was young, because I was literally getting diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. So like,
sorry, I took the cap off on accident and I just drew
we're
off.
so unserious. So obviously it was a big deal, and I was losing my abilities to be able to walk and run and all of that, and a lot of stuff was going on. My parents were flight attendants and in and out of town, and it was a lot for a little girl. So what was happening, which I didn't understand until I met Michael, and he was like, wait a second, but we'll get to that. So what was happening is some nights I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would be like shaking like violently, like my teeth would be chattering, and like I would go into my parents' room and be like, I don't know what's happening to me, I'm freaking out. And looking back, it happened all the time when my parents were out of town and I was home alone or babysitting my brother, which I was old enough, before you guys ask, I was old enough to be at home and stuff. But it was a big responsibility for me. So yeah, it happened a lot when they were out of town, and I would have to call them and they would be like, eat a banana, you probably have low blood sugar and whatever, so I did, which, I mean, eating or drinking something is a strategy for getting rid of a panic attack. So when I met Michael, we were watching Harry Potter, actually, which is funny because we're doing our annual rewatch right now. So we were watching Harry Potter and I just started like shaking, like doing that thing, and he's like, I think you're having a panic attack. And I was like, huh, is that what that is? Like, I had no idea that's what it was.
Let me let you guys all in on a little secret here. A lot of times, like, if you're having something go on, right? Normally, weird things about your body, like, it's not that, like, scary when things happen, right? Like if your arm twitches or something, that's usually not like scary. But if you have like a huge impending sense of doom and you can't like put your finger on exactly what you're scared of, that is like, for me, exactly the like what a panic attack was. Like I would just be like, nope, something's happening. Like I'm about to bite the dust right now.
But
and then be
like, a lot of people have different symptoms for panic attacks, and you did not have the shaking. So I was very scared because people don't talk about these kind of symptoms. I also have this one, that was dramatic. I also have this one thing that happens to me that I haven't really heard from anyone else, where my hands will cramp up like this. And like, I won't be able to move them. Like Michael will have to stretch my fingers out, which thankfully that has not happened in a very, very, very long time. Yep. But don't want to have to go through that again. But it's a symptom of a panic attack that people didn't talk about. And the shaking is not talked about that much either. And the teeth chattering and stuff. So that's why it's so important to talk about these things, so you know what's going on. So after that, Michael...
Consult your healthcare provider also. I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean, definitely. Definitely go see a mental health professional. This is not therapy. This is just a chat. But what was I saying? Oh, after that, Michael took me to therapy for the first time, and we started going to therapy, and we started doing like couples therapy because, oh wait, no.
You started...
Back up. So I graduated college and I didn't know what I was doing with my life, which exacerbated the anxiety significantly. Ended up in the walk-in emergency room several times, as we people with anxiety do.
And when you're anxious, it's hard to tell the difference between a heart attack and your chest hurting.
It feels real. So
because it is real.
Well, the symptom is real,
yeah,
but
like you're not making up the fact that whatever hurts.
And I don't regret going to get it checked out or anything. It's just knowing it now. A lot of people with anxiety go.
I forgot the H.
Live, lag.
Live,
love.
Live, log, love.
Show them. Live,
no H.
Wag. So
there's still time.
Yeah, I started getting severe panic attacks and like severe anxiety. I could not leave Michael's side. That's hideous. It's a capital H at the end. Okay. Again, unserious.
Couldn't leave my side.
I couldn't leave Michael's side, and I was like crying all the time. I literally thought I was dying all the time, having multiple panic attacks a day. And I tried fighting it with everything. We started going to therapy. I was meditating and eating healthier or not eating at all for a while. You know, like just
that wasn't a strategy to improve
No.
anxiety. That was
that. Yeah,
a byproduct.
I understand that was unclear. I lost a lot of weight, and now I gained back like way more than I've ever had. So I'm healthy at least. But yeah, so that was horrible, and I fought it like naturally for as long as I could because I didn't want to take medicine. And now, where I am now, taking the medicine, I'm like, ooh, I wish I did that earlier because it was traumatic to go what I went through for like, I want to say like a year. Like, it was a long time, and it was around the time of COVID, and I started like improving during COVID too. And COVID was like a horrible time, but also one of the biggest times of personal growth for me. I don't know if you would say that. That's, I think,
for you.
Didn't you get,
or for me?
Well, both.
I mean, yeah, I got my PE.
Yeah, you got got diagnosed with ADHD during that too. So, and it was like early years in our marriage. It was during our marriage actually, because we got married during COVID. So, COVID was a very big time of transition. And then when I finally started getting myself on the right track again is when I decided to go back to school. And I remember the night that I had the idea, like it sparked in my head, like, oh, I should go back to school. And I was like, Michael, I have this like crazy idea. And I just started like Googling, finding programs, whatever. And all of a sudden my GRE study books were on our front doorstep. So yeah, that's kind of like why I got into this profession and whatever, which I know I've probably said before. But where's my anxiety at now? It's much better. And I'm on the SSRI still.
I mean, everybody has anxiety. Anxiety is a feeling. Like, if you have to take a test, you're going to feel a little anxious before. Like, that's a physiological thing.
Yeah, but like earlier today, I was laying in my office and all of a sudden I just started feeling anxious. It could be due to like the life transition because I'm like graduating and whatever, and that's what triggered my anxiety really bad before. Although I'm not going down any like hole or anything because I have a lot of methods that I'm using to manage my anxiety now.
Coping strategies.
Yeah, coping skills and just daily work on yourself helps you to not get to a point of like really bad usually. So earlier today I was in my office and I just started feeling anxious, and so I laid there for a while. I ate something and then I drank water because those are two of the things that you're like, am I hungry? Am I like thirsty?
Is it? Halt.
Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. So those are things you can ask yourself. Am I tired? Yes, I'm also tired. So
Am I tired? I'm always tired.
So ate something, drank something, and then I call them depression showers, but I make Michael put me in the shower and then I just sit there.
In the dark?
Yeah, usually
sometimes
in
with
the dark,
sad music.
Sometimes with very sad music, but no sad music and no dark today. So just a shower, really. And I just use it to like reset, like the hot water it does something. And then I did my skincare and brushed my hair out and I'm feeling better. So we got to do this video, but that's just showing you that, you know, even a mental health professional goes through times of anxiety. Like, it's just about what you do when you feel the anxiety that makes the difference. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Pretty good though. All in all, very, very thankful for where I am today. But if you would have told me a couple years ago that I was here today, I wouldn't believe you.
Which brings us to our next point. This video is sponsored by mental health.
No. This video is not sponsored by anything. This is Michael and I doing it for funsies. Like, we're not even in the partner program. We don't even get paid for views.
Also, mental health can't sponsor anything because it's an abstract concept.
Well, BetterHelp does paid, like, there's like mental health platforms that do paid partnerships.
You just said some words. I'm sure some of them meant things.
Like platforms, like, you know.
What the heck's a platform?
Like Headspace. Headspace does that too, actually. Headspace is not what I was thinking, but Headspace is a meditation app, and they do paid partnerships too. So Headspace or Talkspace or BetterHelp or any of the mental health platforms, that would be a great partnership if you find yourself here.
Let me color one thing.
This is where we're at. It's not like super ugly yet. It's not like
cup on my hand.
No, I cleared my throat.
Onto my hand.
I guess. This is where we're at. It's not super ugly yet, but it's not good. The shower curtain was a mistake.
This is where we're at.
It looks more green on camera. It's more blue here.
You probably have your night filter on.
Wow, Michael, that's beautiful.
Happy birthday.
One of Michael's many ADHD hobbies is doing calligraphy. So, I guess Michael shared... I did not like that. Please don't do that. You're gonna, like, break your neck off. So, did you just do it again?
It was a...
No! No! I thought the cap was on my
I feel like you're gonna be tempted to blame me. But...
Oh God, he flinched. Have you guys seen the social media video going around about the kid that flinched in a video, and now everybody's saying that their child was abused?
I don't know anything about that.
I mean, I just saw the video. I'm not deep in the rabbit hole of it, but basically, I don't beat Michael. Just so you know, he flinched because I don't know.
I'm a jumpy boy. If you're feeling froggy,
it messed it up. Look. So, anyway, Michael shared some tips of how he manages his anxiety or ADHD. And
anxiety, deep breaths.
Anxiety, deep breaths, and something Michael and I love to tell our friends and family when they're going through anxiety, because, like I said, they come to us because we're a safe space, is how to slow your heart rate, because a lot of people have like fast heartbeats when, you know, they're anxious, and
the adrenaline, fight or flight response.
Do you want to share?
Increase your blood pressure and your heart rate. Share what?
Share the strategy that you tell everybody. You just talked somebody through it the other day. Was it Sammy?
No, it was my mom, and also Sammy.
We constantly are giving mental health help to people. That's not what this video is, though. This is not help.
No.
Go get real help.
This is a coping strategy.
This is...
If you feel like your heart is beating fast...
due to anxiety.
Talk to a doctor or something. But other than that, you can also take a deep breath in, hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale through, like, you purse your lips, like...
So you can blow out slowly.
So you blow out slowly for like 7 seconds. So like in for 3, hold it for 5, and then out for 7. Do that like 3 or 4 times, and pretty much guaranteed.
Pretty much scientifically proven to, unless you have something else, you know, going on or whatever. I mean, but it's a good strategy to try.
But be smart, you know. I mean, if you gotta call the doctor, call the doctor.
Yeah, we're not telling you to not call
the
doctor.
But if you're feeling a little anxious, then maybe give the deep breath a try. I don't know.
Yeah, and something else for anxiety is meditation, but like not the kind that you think. Like meditation doesn't have to be that. It can be like mindful eating. So like if you're eating a strawberry and you like smell it and you're like, that smells like a strawberry. And then you like lick it and you're like, yeah, that feels like a strawberry. And then you're eating it and you're like tasting it and really focusing on that. That's a form of meditation. You don't have to sit there and try and clear your mind, which is harder for a lot of people.
I mean, but if you're trying to do that, what you do is you try to feel the air go in and out of your nose, because when you breathe in, it feels colder. And when you breathe out, it feels hotter. And if you focus on that, that's a really easy way to meditate too.
for like more of a standard meditation.
I mean,
but
that's
you can
just,
also
like-
do mindful walking. You can go out and put your feet in the grass and like just feel what it feels like. Like there's so many options. Even, you know, mindful activities like coloring is a mindful activity.
Also, the whole the biggest point or the biggest thing with meditation is that whatever you're doing, your monkey brain will veer off, and that's like supposed to happen. And the whole act of meditating is to come back to whatever it is you were focusing on.
Yeah, like don't get frustrated with yourself, just bring it back.
Even if you're a monk in Tibet, that's what's happening the whole time, is they veer off and then come back to their breathing. Veer off and come back. That's the whole point.
So we've been talking for a lot of minutes now, but I feel like that gives you guys a good background on Michael and I, and something that we struggle with, but also really want to normalize for all of you. And
Hashtag mental health.
yeah, hashtag mental health. And I hope you guys bring this on to your family and friends, and you are that safe place for them, because everybody deserves to have a safe place. Therapist and friends and family.
This video is brought to you by Safe Spaces.
It's not brought to you by anyone.
Could be.
I need to go to sleep. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave us any questions in the comments, because we write them down for Q&A videos, and we just really appreciate you guys being here and being a part of our lives.
I feel like that's where you cut the video.
Bye.